Okay, this is a video to help you with 8.1G, Intro to Circles. So we're going to talk a little bit about diameters and radiuses of circles, and then we want to focus a couple things on tangents of circles. So let's start with problem number 1. The question says, the diameter of a circle is given. Find the radius. Well, like we talked about in class this week, a diameter is a segment that goes through the center of the circle and has endpoints on the circle itself. A radius is a segment that has one endpoint on the circle and the other endpoint on the center of the circle. And so therefore, a diameter is twice as big as the radius. So if we know the diameter, in order to find the radius, we want to take the length of the diameter, which in this problem is 15, and divide it by 2, since the diameter is twice as big as the radius. When we do that, we know that the radius is 7.5 centimeters. Keeping that thinking in mind for problem number 5, now we know the radius is 8 and we want to find the diameter. So since the radius is half as long as the diameter, we need to multiply this number by 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So we know this radius is this diameter is 16 inches long. Let's move down to the true and false section. Let's look specifically at problem number 10. A tangent intersects the circle at one point. Talked about that today, and that is true. A tangent is a line. It's on the outside of the circle, and it touches the circle at exactly one point. If you look at this diagram to the right, the tangent is this red line here. So we can label this as a tangent. All right, couple more problems. Let's move to the back side. And now let's take a look at 30. So there are a couple different tangents we talked about, especially pertaining to there being more than one circle involved in the problem. And we talked about common external tangents and common internal tangents. A common external tangent will touch each circle on the outside of the circle and not go in between them. A common internal tangent will touch both circles in one point on the outside of the circles, but it will go in between them. So problem number 30, HF, you can see that that's this line right here. Since that does not go in between the circle into this area here, that is a external tangent, a common external tangent. So 30 is G. Now, let's move down to 36 and talk about drawing these in. We want to draw common tangents, and we want to know how many can be drawn, and then we want to draw all of them. Well, since there is space between these circles, it is possible to draw 4 common tangents. We can have 2 that are external tangents and 2 that are internal tangents. The external tangents look something like this. That's one of them, and the other one is on the other side. Both of these lines touch the circles in exactly one point, and they lie on the outside. Now there are 2 internal tangents as well, and that looks like this. That's one of our internal tangents, and here's our other one. Both of these internal tangents touch the circles in exactly one spot, and they do go through the center of them.